Hi everyone, it's not morning, it's more like afternoon. I'm still in my PJs because I've been sewing. I put out a video about making this pattern right here, which is a fabric cafe pattern. Sorry about the glare. It's a 3-yard pattern and I am using my fabric swap squares, which are 10 inches. And I have been able, I've made most of them already, and we're going to show you soon. And I got 2 trees per 10-inch square. The only thing is that the directional fabric ones, I only got 1. And then I just have like little scraps. But let's get started. So this uses 3 1-yard cuts. I'm going to be using the squares. I showed you the background fabric and I'm using this here brown for the tree trunks. So what I've done is I've cut the pieces of fabric and I have from my squares, and then I also cut them from the background fabric. What I did was I'm doing the half rectangle method where I took the background. I don't know. Can you see that? Let's see. Can you see that I drew a line this way? So I drew a line one way and then I drew the line the opposite way. So I have two of these. Let's see how I can put it so you could see. Going the opposite way. I guess here we go. And I'm going to sew on either side of the line. So I'm going to bring you down to where, there you go, a view like that. So I have the diagonal going this way on this one, from this way, and then this diagonal going from that way to that way. So here we go. I'm going to come in and go 1/4 inch on either side. If you are looking for instructions, there are instructions in this pattern, and they're very clear and concise. Fabric Cafe patterns are very clear patterns. I love them because not only are they verbal patterns, but they're also picture patterns, and they're very easy to follow. All right, now that's what I did that one. And now I'm going to come on this other side, and I pinned. If you notice, I did stick a couple pins just to kind of make it easier on myself. Now, believe it or not, doing this will yield us 2 tree blocks. Now my machine is doing something wacky. It's, let's see if it affected this. No, it didn't really affect this. Okay. I'm going to shut it off and turn it back on. But while we talk, I'm going to take out my pins and put them in my magnetic bed. And then you could take a pair of scissors, or you could take a mat like this with the rotary cutter and ruler. You could cut, and then you get 2 pieces right here. 1, 2. And then you cut the other one. And if you notice, let me show you something, because I forgot what I was doing and I was lining these squares up, which is the wrong thing to do. See how they're off? This one's here and that one's there. That's very important before you start sewing on lines. I had to unpick a couple of them. All right, so we have that. Once you have that and you iron it, you go press them. I press them to just the dark side for right now. And I'm going to trim mine to the pattern. And I'm going to use my block lock. I love my block locks. I mean, I think they are expensive, but I do think they're worth their money. I love this notion. I have both the half rectangle and I also have the half square triangle. So you're going to trim it, and then I go over and I press it open. I do find pressing it open does help. So let me go over to my iron real quick. I'm going to leave you for 2 seconds and press this one open. Here we go. Pretty quick. Pressed it open. Now, look at, there you go. So now that I've pressed it open, I come on over here and I put these 2 squares together. And then you have your tree. And then I actually, at this point, I did not press open. I just pressed it to one side and it worked out just fine. If you want to press it open, you can. So here's your tree. I'm going to quickly just press this real quick. Let me show you. Here it is. It's all pressed. So now the next step, after you do all your trees, I'm going to move this over. We're going to do a little bit of strip piecing. And here are the block locks that I use, A and B. This is a Missouri Star 2.5-inch ruler. All right, so this will give you the measurements again. And I decided to go with 1 tree block, tree color, trunk color, I should say. In the pattern, it calls for 2 trunk colors, basically because it's a 3-yard quilt. It just has, you know, fabric 1 and whatever it is, fabric 1 and 3, or fabric 1 and 2, whichever one it is. But because I scrapped this up, because that's what I like to do, I like to scrap up my 3-yard quilts, I went ahead and here we go, and just replaced whatever the fabric was for this brown fabric. I swapped it out. I have a feeling that my machine's going to have to go into the shop because it is just having a mind of its own. Up there. Let's see if we can play chicken bobbin. Yeah, probably not. Of course, this would happen while I'm... All right. We're not going to mess with this anymore. We've got more. So, you get to see me change a bobbin out. I lift up my So Steady mat, which I love it. It's a glide. It's called a grid glider. And I just lifted enough to take out the bobbin. And I have pre-wound some bobbins already before starting this project. So we're good there. And I just drop it in. I have a baby lock already, just in case if anybody was wondering. All right, I'm gonna pull up my bobbin thread. There it goes. And here we go. We're back to sewing this up here. All right, so we're strip piecing. And it's a pretty long strip. And you just kind of sit here and carefully feed it through here. All right. So now I have my first part of my strip set, and I have to go and look because here it is. Like I said, my machine screwed up in one spot. It's like it'll start sewing straight, and then all of a sudden start zigzagging for no reason, and not like a lot of zigzag, just about 3 or 4, and then go back to stitching straight. So yep, it's probably time for it to go in. I mean, it'll be a year. Cleaning is up in a couple of weeks, so I'm sure it's telling me. I'm gonna go and iron this real quick. So my iron station is all the way on the other side of my studio here. And I could, I have put a little mini station, but to do these strip sets, really, I like to have my long board. So here you go. So we have the one. Now to put the next one. I started sewing this strip set on this side. Now I want to sew the strip set on this side. It kind of keeps things from getting wonky. And I come in here and I will now, so from this end, and I'm telling you, it really does make a huge difference, I find, if you sew one direction and then the next time sew the other, especially if you're making rail fences, any kind of strip set actually. I do a lot of 3-yard quilts, so therefore there's a lot of strip sets going on. So here we go. We now just sew this, and once you do this, you'll get to see my strip set really quick. I just line everything up. I take the time. Folks. I mean, you can pin if you like. I am a pinner, but not with strip sets. I just really do just take my time and make sure to line it up. So when I press this, I press towards the dark. So in this case, I pressed into this strip, the smaller strip. Now there we go, there's the end, and I stop. Now to get to the rest, I'm gonna again press in towards the dark, and then that's what our strip set's gonna look like. So let me come over, I'll be right back. And when I press the line that I sewed first, and then I start pressing the other. Of course, my iron's going to give me problems because it knows I'm taping live here. I don't edit. I just go with it. All right, so here you go. There is my strip set. Now, if you look at the strip set, and you imagine that I cut this strip set to the size that they need, look at this. This tree should match the bottom of that strip set. See that? And then you're going to get, let me cut this. My hands are being clumsy today. There we go. And over here. So if you see, this is what your tree will look like. Now, we are going to go over, close everything up here, and we are going to come over. Going to put you guys up, and here we go. So, this is all the trees I have. Let's see. Let's go all the way up. There's that set. And I'm going to keep coming down and down. And you notice there's 3 down there. So I would put this one here. And then the other two down there, probably have to move some things around. And in between here is where I would put a one of these strip sets. So I'm gonna move you again and bring you down. Let's see if maybe back you up. There you go. And to do a strip set, now I'm gonna come in here. Again, I'm doing something a little different than the pattern as far as, there we go. Now, so I'm gonna take, because my PJs are falling down on me. I'm gonna take my strip set piece, and then I'm going to place it right here. So there you go. And then I would be sewing everything. So how I would do this is I would take these trunk sets, sew it to the tree, and then I would sew all my trees across in rows. And then after sewing the trees in rows, sewing them this way in a row, and then sewing the rows to each other. So again, I would do this tree to this, and that would be finish up my block. So if anyone has a layer cake sitting around, or you have 3 yards of fabric and you want to make a 3-yard quilt, here you go. Here's one. Super easy, super fast. For the borders, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do yet. So stay tuned. Everybody have a fabulous day. Stay healthy, take care of yourself, pass it forward. And if you like my channel, please subscribe and like my videos. Please comment. I'm feeling a pass it forward once I get a lot of comments on one, and I'll probably do that and tape something. I'll take all those comments and put them in a basket and pull someone's name out. It's coming. It's coming. I just need more than 2 people to comment on my videos, because I want it, to be fun. But the fun is to not know which video that this might happen, because, people getting spammed. I don't want anybody to get scammed or spammed or anything. I want this to be an enjoyable experience. And if anyone should ever say that you won something from Pastry Queen, it's not true, because I'm going to do it live, as far as live taped. And you'll see your name or hear your name. I will put it in the comments, but I'm not going to get those bad people a chance to get one of us. So take care. Have a wonderful day.